Season 3 of The Mandalorian is over. Many people loved it and can list off a dozen reasons as to why. Many hated it and could rattle on and on about how Kathleen Kennedy is ruining their childhood. And others were left either counting down the days until Andor Season 2 or singing the praises of Andor Season 1. I find myself in this latter group. Why is there such a stark contrast between not just the type of show, but the approach to and the apparent quality of the storytelling of Andor and The Mandalorian? In the simplest of terms, Andor gave us something to care about, where The Mandalorian gave us something to look at. No one is complaining about the spectacle, or the action, or the pace of The Mandalorian. In fact, this is often the loudest criticism of Andor. But when digging a bit deeper, it becomes apparent there was no theme. In the larger picture, what was the overarching theme of Andor? The formation of the Rebel Alliance. We knew where we were going, but we needed the details on how we got there. How did the pieces fall into place to get us from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope? In more extravagant terms, we were coloring in the lines of our childhood. With The Mandalorian, the overarching goal was retaking Mandalore? But why? Yes, that is the homeworld of the Mandalorians, but half of them have never even been there, and there doesn't seem to be an immediate need to recolonize right then and there. There were plenty of scenes showing the failures of the New Republic and the cracks of bureaucracy starting to show, but this seemed to bring about a bunch of loose ends. More missed opportunities from modern Lucasfilm. Not to mention, we know where the galaxy is heading, straight to the sequel trilogy. I have said many times I do not like the sequels, but I do accept them enough to enjoy the ride leading up to it, but that doesn't mean I care. There is nothing causing me to invest emotionally or nostalgically into this New Republic timeline. In a more specific context, the two shows vary drastically in how the main characters are prioritized. There was some mild suspense with Din Djarin as to whether or not he would be killed off this season, but even that wasn't enough to make us care about his character. Let's be real. What was his purpose this season? Sure, he was redeemed as a child of the Watch, but aside from that, he was largely relegated to Grogu's chauffeur. We have heard people mention things about him getting sidelined in his own show and comparing it to Boba Fett, and to be honest, I wouldn't have minded if this season focused exclusively on the Mandalorians as a people rather than the Mandalorian. But it's hard to care about a main character who serves nearly no purpose, has no character arc, and could be entirely replaced by any other Beskar-clad warrior. With Andor, we knew where he was ending up from Rogue One, but we didn't know how he would get there or what role he would play in the aforementioned formation of the rebellion. Sure, we knew he wasn't going to die, but the entire season danced upon the edge of his commitment to the cause. The things he experienced in every episode drove him closer and closer to taking the leap for the rebellion. His mother's death, his imprisonment on Narkina 5, the corruption of the Empire all affected him on a personal level. A brilliant character arc and something we could easily relate to and care about. I really do wish I loved this third season of The Mandalorian, but sadly, in my opinion, there simply wasn't enough there for me to love. May the stash be with you, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.